Every time you stop at a yellow light, you're benefiting from a black inventor's genius. Every time you ride an elevator without thinking twice about the doors, you're trusting technology designed by a black innovator. And if you've ever known someone whose sight was restored through cataract surgery, you've witnessed the legacy of a black woman's revolutionary medical device. American history is built on innovations that changed everything. Yet the faces behind these breakthroughs remain hidden in the shadows. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 5 black inventors whose creations didn't just improve America. They transformed how we live, travel, and see the world. These aren't footnotes in history. These are the architects of modern life, and it's time their stories took center stage. #1. Garrett Morgan. That yellow light you see at intersections? It didn't always exist. Before Garrett Morgan revolutionized traffic safety, drivers faced a terrifying binary choice at every intersection: go or stop, with no warning in between. The result was predictable chaos. Crashes, injuries, and deaths plagued American streets as automobiles became more common in the early 20th century. Morgan, a son of formerly enslaved parents from Kentucky, watched this carnage unfold and decided to do something about it. In 1923, Morgan patented a 3-position traffic signal that introduced something radical: a warning position. This phase gave drivers precious seconds to clear intersections safely before the light changed. It seems obvious now, but at the time, it was revolutionary. Morgan's design became the blueprint for modern traffic lights, and he eventually sold the patent to General Electric for $40,000, a fortune at the time, but a fraction of what the invention was truly worth. His traffic signal didn't just make roads safer, it made the automobile age possible. Without a reliable way to manage traffic flow, American cities couldn't have grown into the sprawling metropolises they are today. But Morgan's genius didn't stop at street corners. Years earlier, in 1914, he invented something even more life-saving: a smoke hood that allowed wearers to breathe safely in smoke-filled environments. This device, which used a tube to draw clean air from ground level, was a precursor to the modern gas mask. Morgan himself demonstrated its effectiveness during a dramatic 1916 tunnel explosion in Cleveland, where he rescued workers trapped beneath Lake Erie. His breathing device would later be adapted for use by soldiers in World War I, saving countless lives on the battlefield. Garrett Morgan's legacy is written in every safe intersection and every firefighter's protective gear. He saw problems that others accepted as inevitable and refused to look away. His innovation. #2. Granville T. Woods. While Garrett Morgan was making streets safer, another black inventor was revolutionizing transportation on the rails. Granville T. Woods earned the nickname the Black Edison for good reason. He held over 50 patents focused on electrical and railway systems. But one invention changed everything. How do you communicate with a train that's already moving? Before Woods, trains were isolated once they left the station. If there was danger ahead or an emergency, there was no way to warn the engineer. Accidents were common and deadly. Woods solved this with his synchronous multiplex railway telegraph, patented in 1887. This system allowed moving trains to send and receive messages from stations in real time. Dispatchers could now prevent collisions and respond to emergencies before disaster struck. Rail companies adopted Woods' technology immediately because it made train travel exponentially safer and more efficient. His invention helped railroads become the dominant form of transportation in 19th century America. Without reliable communication, the massive rail networks that fueled American expansion would have been too dangerous to operate at scale. Woods continued innovating throughout his career, improving electric railway systems and other technologies. But he did all of this while facing brutal racism. He fought patent battles and defended his work against those who tried to steal credit. Granville T. Woods didn't just connect trains to stations. He connected America to its future, proving that innovation thrives even against injustice. 3. Lewis Howard Latimer. From the rails to the light that illuminates our world, innovation kept pushing forward. Thomas Edison gets all the credit for the light bulb, but here's what history often leaves out. Edison's early bulbs burned out quickly and were too expensive for everyday use. It took Lewis Howard Latimer to make them practical for American life. Latimer, born in 1848 to formerly enslaved parents, tackled the light bulb's biggest weakness, the carbon filament. Edison's filaments lasted only days before burning out. Latimer developed an improved method for manufacturing carbon filaments that lasted significantly longer and cost less to produce. His process made electric lighting affordable and reliable, transforming it from a luxury into a necessity that lit up homes, streets, and cities across America. But Latimer's contributions didn't stop at lighting. He also improved sanitation systems for railroad cars, developing better toilet systems that made long-distance train travel more comfortable and hygienic. At a time when rail travel was booming, this innovation mattered for public health and passenger experience. What makes Latimer's story even more remarkable is the respect he earned. He worked directly with both Edison and Alexander Graham Bell, drafting patent drawings for Bell's telephone. He became one of the few black members of Edison's elite engineering team, the Edison Pioneers. In an era of rigid segregation, Latimer's brilliance couldn't be ignored. Lewis Howard Latimer didn't just improve the light bulb. He illuminated the path forward, proving that progress requires refinement and accessibility. His work brought light to millions and dignity to an industry that desperately needed both. For Alexander Miles, elevators were death traps. That's not an exaggeration. In the late 1800s, riding an elevator meant trusting that someone would manually close the doors at exactly the right time. Forget to close the shaft door? People fell to their deaths. Close the elevator car door too late? Same deadly result. Alexander Miles witnessed this danger firsthand and refused to accept it as the cost of vertical progress. Miles, a successful businessman from Duluth, Minnesota, was reportedly inspired to act after a terrifying incident involving his daughter nearly stepping into an open elevator shaft. The problem was obvious. Human error was killing people, and the solution required removing humans from the equation. In 1887, Miles patented a mechanism that automatically opened and closed elevator doors at precisely the right moment. U.S. patent number 371,207. His system was elegantly simple, yet revolutionary. Using a belt connected to levers and rollers, Miles' design triggered the doors to close when the elevator car arrived at a floor and open when it departed. The mechanism worked in perfect synchronization with the elevator's movement, eliminating the deadly gaps that had claimed so many lives. No more relying on distracted operators. No more tragic accidents from open shafts. The impact on urban development cannot be overstated. As American cities grew upward, skyscrapers became symbols of progress and ambition. But without safe, reliable elevators, tall buildings were impractical. Miles' automatic door system made elevators trustworthy enough for mass adoption, enabling the vertical expansion that defines modern cities. Every office building, apartment complex, and hotel relies on descendants of his innovation. Alexander Miles didn't just make elevators safer. He made the sky the limit, proving that one person's determination to solve a deadly problem could literally elevate an entire nation. Cinque Patricia e Rabat. From the ground beneath our feet to the skyscrapers above, we've seen how black inventors transformed America's infrastructure. Now we turn to something even more personal, the gift of sight. Patricia Arabath didn't just improve how we see. She restored vision to people who thought they'd lost it forever. Bath was a trailblazer from the start. She became the first African-American woman to complete a residency in ophthalmology and the first African-American female doctor to receive a medical patent. But her crowning achievement came in 1986 when she invented the Lazerfico probe, a device that revolutionized cataract surgery. Before Bath's invention, cataract removal was invasive, imprecise, and risky. Surgeons used crude methods that often resulted in complications. Bath's Lazerfico probe, used laser technology to remove cataracts with unprecedented precision and minimal invasion. The device vaporized the clouded lens using a laser, allowing for quicker recovery times and better outcomes. It transformed cataract surgery from a dreaded procedure into a routine outpatient operation. The impact was global. Millions of people worldwide suffer from cataracts, and in many cases, it's the leading cause of blindness. Bath's invention didn't just improve the procedure. It made restoring sight accessible to countless people who would have otherwise remained blind. She personally traveled to underserved communities, performing surgeries and training doctors, driven by her belief that eyesight is a basic human right. Patricia-era Bath's legacy lives in every person whose sight has been restored through modern cataract surgery. She didn't just see the problem. She illuminated the solution, proving that innovation paired with compassion can change the world one person at a time.